Welcome to Journaling with Nature, the podcast for those who want to turn curiosity into wonder, a pencil sketch into a rabbit hole of discovery, a moment of stillness into a life full of joy. I'm your host, Bethan Burton. Let's open the pages of our nature journals and explore this world together. Hello, this is episode 150. That's such a nice round number. I love seeing the numbers of podcast episodes climbing as we go through the years. Before we jump into today's prompt episode, I'd like to say thank you to the patrons of the show who make this project possible by pledging as little as $1 per month through Patreon. This support has meant that I've been able to continue this podcast into its 4th year now, and I'm so grateful for this. As part of being a patron of the show, you have the opportunity to propose questions for me to ask of upcoming guests. This is a fun way to make the podcast an interactive experience and to engage with your favorite creators. If you'd like to join in with this, you can find the Patreon link in the show notes for each episode. Today is a prompt episode, and we're going to talk about making a collection. A collection is when you make a nature journal page of lots of examples of one chosen subject. You might document all the special shells that caught your eye on a trip to the beach, or you might make a page of different fallen leaves that you see in your front garden. Making a collection allows you to explore all the similarities and differences between things in the same category. This exercise helps you pay close attention to your subject and to notice small details that you might not have noticed otherwise. It can also change the way that you see the world, as you'll be looking out for new examples to add to your collection. Some people post images of heart shapes that they've noticed in nature. Have you seen this online? It's so sweet. I've done it as well, and it makes you walk through the world with your eyes open for heart shapes, and you start to see them all around you in different locations. Here are some more examples of things that you could make a collection of in your journal. You might put down all the flowering weeds on the side of the road, cloud shapes, coloured stones, bark textures that you see, leaf shapes, colours that you see from your window, sketches of birds that you see in your area at this time of year, types of seed pods, feathers that you find on your walks. The possibilities for what to make a collection about are really endless and just up to your curiosity. This is a really wonderful exercise too for those folks who find it hard to find time to nature journal, because you only have to do one small thing. Sketch one interesting twig today, that's it. Then next time you have a little window of time, sketch another twig that catches your attention. Sketch it on the same page as the first one and write something about why you like it or why the shape pleases you or where you found it. And do this again and again until your page is full. That's it. You've made a collection. It might take you 6 weeks to complete the page, it might take you 6 months, or it might take you one afternoon. The idea is just to spend time noticing and capturing details that you can look back on and notice what makes things similar and different in your collection. Did you collect stamps as a kid or coins? I used to collect erasers. I had ones shaped like fruit and animals and ice creams and unicorns. And I used to love to bring them all out and look at their differences and think about what made each one special. A collection for a nature journal page is the same. We can go back to it and remember, oh yeah, I saw this snail shell in my aunt's garden, and I found this one when I was walking on this particular street, and this one still had a snail in it, and so I had to sketch it while the snail was moving. Whatever the details are, a collection can be a little treasure trove for your memories. Remember that your collection doesn't have to be a sketch. You can also make a collection out of numbers, temperature readings, for example, for each day of the month, or numbers of bird species you saw on a walk. Lists can also be collections. So can collections of sensory observations, for example. You might make a page around a collection of observations based on the scent of different flowers. Write down the names of the flower and a description of what you noticed about its scent. Then do this again and again with different flower observations on the same page. So I invite you to think of something that interests you and to start a page with one sketch or one written observation, just one. Then come back to it again and again over time, adding to your collection whenever you like, until you've created a page which tells the story of your adventures in nature. I'd love to hear your stories about making a nature journal page of your collections. You can leave a comment below this episode on the Journaling with Nature website, or you can use the hashtag Journaling with Nature if you post your pages on social media. I look forward to seeing what you create. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week.